Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we are going to see the joins. But before that, let's first understand why we need SQL joins. Imagine you are testing an e-commerce application like Amazon or Flipkart. On the application screen, you can see the customer's name, the product they ordered, the payment status and the delivery status. That is everything in one place. But are all these details stored in a single table? No. In real world projects, data is organized into multiple related tables. For example, customer details are stored in the customers table, order details in the orders table, payment information in the payments table, and delivery details in the deliveries table. These tables are connected using common columns such as customer ID and order ID. So as testers, when we need to validate the complete details of an order, looking at just one table isn't enough. This is exactly where SQL joins come in. Joins help us combine data from two or more related tables into a single result, making it easy for us to validate the data displayed in the application UI. In this episode, we will learn the different types of SQL joins using simple real-time examples so that you can confidently use them in both interviews and real projects. Throughout this video, I'll be using two tables to understand all the different types of SQL joins. I have already created these tables and I'll provide all the queries in the description below so that you can create these tables in your own database and practice every join along with me. Okay, let's get started. Let's look at these tables first. The first table is customers and this is how the table looks like. So the customer ID is the primary key for this table, which means each value is unique in this column, that is the customer ID. And the next table is orders. And this is how the orders table looks like, and the order ID is the primary key for this table, which means each value is unique. Okay, let's move on to the joins. Okay guys, so before we move on to the types of joins, let's understand one important concept first, that is the foreign key. Let's take our tables, the customers table and the orders table. If you see, the customer ID is the primary key in the customers table. But did you notice that customer ID is also available in the orders table? But this is not the primary key here. Then what is this? This is foreign key because this customer ID is pointing to the customer ID in the customers table. Also, this foreign key can be duplicated, but a primary key should always be unique. So always remember one point, primary key uniquely identifies a record, but a foreign key relates one table to another, and using this foreign key only, we will create the relationship between these two tables, that is, we will join these two tables. Alright guys, let's start with inner join. So what is inner join? Inner join returns the records that exist in both the tables. Okay, let's look into this. We have two tables, one is customer and orders. So in customers table, we have 5 IDs, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And in orders ID, we have 6 IDs, 101, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, so if you take the customer ID 1, it has order ID 101 and 103. So it exists in both the tables. So this will be written. And if you take the 2, it contains orders 102 and 105. So this will also be written. And 3 contains 104. So this will also be written. But if you take 4, there is no order for this customer. So that will be excluded. And if you take 5, no order for this customer as well. So this will also be excluded. Similarly, if you take the order ID 106, we have the customer ID 6, but there is no such customer in the customers table, so this will also be excluded. So the records that exist in both the tables only be written. So let's look into the query. Okay, so here we have two tables, one is customer and order. So we are selecting customer ID, customer name, city, order ID, amount, status. From customers, the another name we are giving for this table is C, and we are joining this customer tables with orders, that is inner join orders, and for orders also we are specifying another name O. So on what condition? Customer ID is the common column for both these tables. So on C dot customer ID is equal to O dot customer ID. So also for the fields we have to specify the table name dot field name. Let me explain why. So let me remove the table name from the customer ID, and if I execute this query, you can see like we are getting error as the field customer ID, column customer ID in field list is ambiguous. This is because the customer ID exists in both the tables. So now our server gets confused like from which table it has to pick up the customer ID. So that is why the best practice is always to specify the table name dot field name. And now if you execute this, you can see the customer ID 1, 2, 3 are returned and 4 and 5 are excluded. Similarly, order ID 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 are returned. Order ID 6 is excluded. So in short, inner join returns the records that exist in both the tables. Okay, let's move on to the left join. So left join is something which returns all the records from the left table and only the matching records from the right table. So here left table is customers and the right one is the orders. So for customers we have 5 IDs, out of which 4 and 5 doesn't have any orders, but these customers will also be returned in the results table with null values for orders. Let's execute this query and see what it returns. Yeah, so if you see the results, you can find for 1, 2 and 3 we have orders, but for 4 and 5 we doesn't have any orders, but still those are also displayed in the results with null values for order ID, amount and status. So this is what left join does. So it returns all the records from the left table and only the matching records from the right table. Next one is right join. So right join is the exact opposite of left join. It returns all the records from the right table and only the matching ones from the left table. So here customers is the left table and orders is the right one. So for orders we have 6 IDs 101 to 106, but for 106 we have the customer ID 6. But there is no such customer in the customers table. So what will happen is, so in place of those values null will be returned. Let's execute this query and see the difference between left join and right join. Okay, yeah, so you can see for order ID 106 there is no customer in the customers table. So the customer ID, name, city or null. So this is the difference between right join and left join. Next one is full outer join. So it returns all the records from the left table and all the records from the right table. So MySQL doesn't support full outer join by default. So we are going to use union operator to combine the results of left join and the right join. Let's go ahead and execute this query and see the results. Okay, so if you see here, Sneha and Karthik are customer ID 4 and 5. They don't have any orders, so those values are null. And for 106 order ID, we don't have any customer, so that is also null. So this is the union of left join and right join. So that's it for today, guys. I have provided all the queries used in this video in the description below, so copy and practice them. In the next video, we will look into some of the most frequently asked SQL interview questions. So stay tuned and see you guys in the next episode. Thank you.